Every year, hundreds of thousands of people go through the Personal Independence Payment Assessment process. For many, it's the most stressful part of their claim. Some believe they're about to sit an exam, others worry the assessor is trying to catch them out, and many have no idea what actually happens after they return their PIP form. But here's the thing, the assessment doesn't begin when the phone rings. It usually begins long before that. Today, we're going behind the scenes to follow a PIP claim from start to finish, using the official PIP assessment guide to explain what normally happens at each stage of the assessment process. Once you've completed your How Your Disability Affects You questionnaire, it's returned to the DWP together with any supporting evidence you've chosen to provide. This might include letters from your general practitioner, hospital consultants, psychologists, occupational therapists, or other healthcare professionals involved in your care. The claim and available evidence are then reviewed. Where further assessment advice is required, the case is referred to an assessment provider. And that's where one of the biggest misconceptions begins. Many people believe the assessment begins when the assessor calls. According to the official PIP assessment guide, that's not what normally happens. Before speaking to you, the assessment provider carries out an initial review of the available evidence. The purpose of that review is to decide whether additional evidence is needed, whether advice can be completed using the available paperwork alone, or whether a telephone, video, or face-to-face consultation is required. So, by the time your consultation begins, your paperwork has already been reviewed. Not everyone has a consultation. Sometimes the available evidence provides enough information for the health professional to complete their advice without speaking to the claimant. This is commonly known as a paper-based review. If there isn't enough information to provide advice, a consultation is arranged to gather the additional evidence that's needed. The consultation usually begins with identity checks and an explanation of the assessment process. The assessor may confirm your name, date of birth and address, check that you can hear clearly, and ask whether anyone is supporting you during the consultation. This is the main part of the assessment. The assessor works through the activities set out in the PIP regulations to understand how your health affects your ability to carry them out. They'll often ask follow-up questions, not because they're trying to catch you out, but because they're applying the legal test. Can you do the activity safely? Can you do it to an acceptable standard? Can you repeat it as often as needed? Can you complete it within a reasonable time? These are known as the reliability criteria, and they're one of the most important parts of the assessment. Another area that's often misunderstood is informal observations. Where relevant, assessors may record observations that arise naturally during the consultation, such as communication, hearing, concentration, or other observations relevant to the assessment. These observations are only one part of the overall evidence. They should always be considered alongside your questionnaire, supporting evidence and everything you tell the assessor during the consultation. Once the consultation has finished, the assessor writes a detailed report. The report explains the evidence considered and provides advice based on the PIP descriptors. It is then sent back to the Department for Work and Pensions. It's important to remember, the assessor does not make the final decision. A DWP decision maker reviews the assessment report alongside the other available evidence before deciding the claim. The health professional provides advice. The DWP decision maker makes the decision. If you disagree with the decision, you can usually ask the Department for Work and Pensions to carry out a mandatory reconsideration. As part of that process, the decision is looked at again, taking account of the information already available and any additional evidence you provide. If you still disagree after that, you may be able to appeal to an independent tribunal. Understanding how decisions are made can help you understand where disagreements sometimes arise and what options may be available if you believe the decision is wrong. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing. Every video on this channel is based on official guidance, legislation, and practical examples to help you better understand how the personal independence payment assessment process works. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.